check on this with categories. When we have the Arlington Cemetery, I think the pattern is that you have a category for Arlington here, and then you have burial. So this is people who are on this cemetery. So before Wikidata, people were moved here. What has been done now, is my understanding, is that the Wiki data item has, Swedish properties now, saying that this is a category contains humans, contains. This is that we have picture, I think, on Wiki Commons. And this is the category combines location of burial and Arlington Cemetery. So that's rather cool. So that means that you can say that the category on WikiTree is same as Q8327929. I don't know if it's good or bad. I listening to a very good video yesterday, and that is the Denny Burandici, and he is the brain behind Wiki.
And if you, last question,
behind Wikidata, and he speaks a lot about should we do it too difficult, or if we do it too difficult, people will not use it, but we describe it better, or should it be simple? And I think this is a good case where we have this challenge. So interesting thing here is that you have a lot of category pages to check. I can guess it's not the same people in all those, and maybe I'm not the best on this API, but I think the API is possible to ask who is in a category. So if you go to Slovenian, then you have those people here. Is it Slovenian? I don't know. Prosta Encyclopedia. So then you have to ask all those people. The good thing with something like this is, I think it's easier if you have death, location, and birth. So if someone says he died in New York, then hopefully they are in New York. I don't know. I don't understand this. If this person died in New York, they died in Santa Barbara and was born in New York, it looks like they don't add him to the birth location in the US. So maybe it's different rules for different Wikipedias. If we look down here, it's rather easy and clear. Says New York City and Santa Barbara. I normally put the parish here, but I have changed during the years. So it's, and that's, I think, is a little bit bad. If we could do, didn't we have POC? I think I had Arlington here. Here we have an API extension. Extract. Maybe you can extract the persons also. I'm not the best on this API. Category. I don't know. Sorry. But we have the Arlington people here. So here. So this is people connected to WikiTree who died in Arlington. And if we look at him and if we look at that person, so cemetery I think is rather easy. It's always 1-1. And he's born in Santa Monica and died in Bajan. Here he is Bajan, Santa Monica, so that's excellent. Here we have a Arlington category, and that's all. Battle of Midway. Here we don't have it, I think. World War II, Pacific War. So this is, I feel, the Battle of Midway, Battle Wars. Here we have Pacific Wars. And then the question is, should Pacific War. So the Pacific War is related to Battle of Midway, which is, then you have to ask Battle of Midway, what is his subclass of? Here we have Battle of Midway, and then we go down to Wikidata. And Wikidata is instance of, part of Pacific War. So this is more complex than you think. This easiest way is just enrich a category in Wikidata, I think, with what you find here for example, for the cemetery. And as you said in some email, is that maybe, I guess WikiTree has much more information than Wikidata on cemetery. Cemetery is normally rather messy, is my feeling. So if this is a military cemetery, and then you have national cemetery, and then you have a cemetery, and in Sweden I have seen that people have uploaded a lot of objects they say are a cemetery, but a cemetery can be also a non-used cemetery, that it's they have found something which is the remains of a cemetery 500 years ago, and then they call it a cemetery. And that's kind of cemetery is not so interesting for people doing genealogy, as we have no names. So I think asking Wikidata about Wikidata about the cemetery needs some thoughts. So what we are running into here is, I think, the interesting thing that we have a WikiTree community that are rather homogen, what you say, doing it the same way as you run in one language. Then you have the Wikipedia people who has their own language version that are independent of each other. And then we have the Wikidata project, which is rather new and immature, and I think the WikiTree people are the first doing so much connections. So then the question is, how do you define a cemetery that is interesting for WikiTree people? And we filter away all those not necessary. Maybe it need to be handpicked, saying that cemetery in Wikidata is the same as, and then maybe it's easier. So my feeling is that we have the Wikidata object. We could add WikiTree category here. the new thing we will get, hopefully. What next step is, here you have also rather cool thing is that Wiki data object is connected with coordinates and maybe also, no it's not, we could see if we can fix that. So here we say it's connected to a WikiTree OpenStreetMap relation. So this is much better. So this is the symmetry, and this here is connected to Wikidata. So what is done here is that they have their own language. Say, give me all the objects you have who is the same as the Q number in Wikidata, and then you get it back. And I think this the problem with relation ID is they are not stable. They could change. So if I do OpenStreetMaps, still we add it like that. Then we get the OpenStreetMap relation object. Then he expanded and we can zoom in and see it. So they have written some plugin here to show the object. So this is, I get high on things like this, that a object in OpenStreetMap is just it's related to something in Wikidata, and in Wikidata you get this added value. That's all. So it's complex. What should be mapped? Step one, I think, is mapping. I prefer simplicity, saying that your category is the same as this object, and what I should do is that when I have this connection, I should steal the coordinates, and I think you have your info box, which I think is cool, and then you also could have find the grave, cemetery ID. Maybe that's all. What we should have here is the source where you can do the research, links to registers and so on, but I haven't started looking into that for Swedish. Describe that maybe. Could be good to have, so you can learn more, and maybe also something from the article. This is cool. So they have maps. They have a maps category. I've never seen that before. So then you can see how the cemetery was over the years. What should be done now is that we have... This is a picture of the what we have is that we have... Here you have Commons Wiki. So this Q1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is related to this one. And what they do, what you can do then, I do this, so maybe they kill me, is that you can add a info box here, and this info box steals its information from the Wikidata item, which I think is cool. Here. So now we get this up, explaining what it is, and they have also this OpenStreetMap. So maybe this is some, I don't know what version you need of Wikipedia and so on, but they steal, they who has written their template and also shows this thing and links to books and so on. Even cooler is, and that the way I would like to do genealogy, is that you can, with WikiShoot Me, he goes out and checks in Wikidata all the objects found, and then you can filter. Then you can filter to find all Wikidata objects with image, with no image, common image, and so on. It doesn't support so good graves, because the graves is bad model, because one person has one grave with a coordinate. So this is more for the object. So if we go to your location, let's, I guess, hope you'll follow this or read this. So then we have Ljubljana, and then we can check what he has found. So if I filter Wikidata objects with an image, so that this is P18 on this Ljubljana object. If we say with no image, then we have, then I need to run your language version, which I can't understand which one is the correct one. We can go down in check. So this object here is a something. Spomenik Kemenic Ubravic. So it's memorial. And this has a link to this site, but this has no Wikipedia article. So this is not so interesting. Maybe it's a big memorial. And then the person doing this, he is brilliant coding, has also taken coordinates from Commons picture. So this is a picture, I guess, that is here, and it's not filanvändning, now I'm running in wrong language, so it's not used anywhere. So it's just a picture on Wikicommons. What has been done now, which I think is so cool, is that they have moved Wikimedia Commons to this Wikibase platform, the same as Wikidata. So that means that you can add structural data. So you could say that this is Ljubljana, capital city of, and that is the same as the Q number here. So that means that you can ask for all objects where you can see something, and what will come is that you start mark different locations. I don't save this. So if, for example, if I use this image position tool, then we extract the object, which is this one. I have said it should be in Chinese. So that means that all people in this object, except those, if I move the mouse in here, I thought, here, is that what we see here, I think this is dear Napoleon. No. No, it's just the object. This is Napoleon. So when I wrote ZH, it went down and took the Chinese name of it. So you see, it can has, I think we have defined 300 languages. And Chinese is maybe down here somewhere. Here we have. So if we look at the articles here, we can see that Napoleon has 47 articles. So if I instead say AR, then it will be Arabic. So then we can see that the name of this object is Arabic, and when I move in here, I think it's fallback English. So this is maybe the Arabic name for Napoleon. So that's one, and if I go to English, it says this. So what happened here, this is just a test tool where we have said that this object, the painting, depicts a lot of things. And then you can say add region, and I can say this region here. I think I'm not logged in, so nothing will happen. Should be the coronation. Drapery, I can mark something else. So if we go down to the object, you see that you have depicts Napoleon, and what you have is relative position. I remember last thing I did over in WikiTree community was this person who added picture, and I said use a template, and then someone closed my account. I don't know what happened, but then this could be the way to do it. So it says that Napoleon is 52.6% into the picture, 55.13% down, and it's 4 and 3 wide. Sounds big. And this is the way you have new standards IIF. And I guess what will come is that you could have a picture from one place and then you overlay your annotations. So that means that you could have your family tree with your picture and say, show me in this picture just the people who relate to me or to this location or something like that. So this is very interesting. But no, this is special because it's a painting. What I guess will happen is that here we have more picture. Or normally is that if you have a painting, then you know what it shows. But when people start doing other like this, you can't say it's 10% in or 30% down. So what happened now is that all this depict stuff is moved to Wikimedia Commons, to the factual picture. So I guess this is, Napoleon is somewhere there. So here we can start saying items portrait in this file is Napoleon. So like this, click. And then you will in next version be able to say it's in this area of this picture. And then you can start seeing that you have, like you have a Wikidata query service, you can start, now I'm down on the STCs, that's the Wikicommon project. So then you can ask for all files that depicts something. And then you say that this item here depicts Q1, which is the universe or something stupid. And this picture here depicts Q5, that is a human. I think I did something more. Yeah, I did. So then we could say that, I think, we could say that it should depict Napoleon. Here. So then we have 3 pictures, and it doesn't come up here. I don't know why, everything is shaky. And then we can say this picture here has structured data that says it's Napoleon, it's a horse, and it's Great St. Bernard Pass. So that means that this is Q41. Maybe we can do this, and then we just get this picture. And then we get this back. And if we check now at the L, this is crazy. Paint is in the Dutch Museum. And then we have this person, and if we check at him, does he have a depict? No. But that's the way you can do. So what could be done then is that you can start ask question, I guess. Find WikiTree. Find, I've never done this, I don't know. Person who has WikiTree. Oh, stupid me. And then we say find all person that are on WikiTree and has a picture. Will it work? No, it didn't. Have a file that depict him. Maybe it's not. This is early beta, I think. Yeah. So that's my thought, that then you should be able to take your whole family tree, give me all pictures depicting those people at a specific location or something like that. So a lot of things happening, and this category stuff is maybe step number 1.